All right, ma'am, if you'll just put your legs right up here on the stirrups, and I'll just go under here and take a look. Oh my, oh God. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to play with the 2002 a little bit more. You can see we've got the Z3 in here. It's actually getting ready to go to its new home pretty shortly. But the 2002, we've got a big list of items to do because it does have a lot of problems with it. If you guys saw previously, we did put the 5-speed in it. It did very well. I took it on a road trip, which may have been a horrendous mistake. So today we're going to remedy some of those problems and begin the build on the 2002. Motor leaks. Just kidding. No, it actually leaks quite badly. So after driving the car, like we'd do some short trips after we did the 5-speed swap, and every time we'd put it in the garage, there would be like a huge puddle of oil. Well, not really a puddle, like drops coming from everywhere. So I think everything is leaking. So we kind of went back and forth, like what should we do here? And option A was to just keep driving it with it when it was leaking, which I didn't like because I kept having to clean it up, and it's bad for the environment. Okay. Option B was to pull the engine out and completely reseal it, but I was like, why do that? Because there's so much room in here to work, and I've just resealed one, so it's kind of fresh on my mind. Option C would be to pull it out and just swap in a bigger motor, which that just makes sense to me. I mean, that makes all the sense in the world. I think we're going to get there, but so I can keep enjoying it, we're going to just reseal the whole motor outs in the car. We've got a whole kit of gaskets, and that should seal it up, and hopefully we can enjoy it a little more. All right, ma'am, if you'll just put your legs right up here on the stirrups, and I'll just go under here and take a look. Oh my, oh God, oh God, oh. Yeah, that's really bad. Look at the oil right there. It's been burning down the header. The trans, our fresh trans we put in, is completely soaked. I don't know what the deal is with that. It's almost kind of a lost cause, I think. I mean, it's like, why reseal this when we can just put in a V8? Seriously? Or something, I don't know. Something bigger than this. For the sake of the build, because the car, we're doing a nice build on the car. We've got a lot of race car parts to go on it. And I think it is eventually going to get a new engine swapped in. But so if we're going to do that, we need to like get the chassis ready with all the other parts. So for the sake of being able to drive the car and for the channel and for the build, whatever, we're going to go ahead and reseal the motor so we can continue driving and testing it. Let's get to it. Oh, look at that skill. Not a drop. Scotty Kilmer here, guys. Get ready to rev up your rod-knocking engines. Today, I'm going to show you how to fix your oil leaks on your BMW. It's real easy. You just drain it out. I think from now on, those will be the Scotty Kilmer glasses. Yeah, and we keep shitting on Scotty Kilmer. God, my mom's going to kill me. Oh my God. We're getting rid of the oil leaks prematurely by just draining the oil out. Now we're going to do an oil pan gasket, so to do that, we've got to drain the oil out. And it's been in there a couple of years, so it's probably about time to do it anyways. This oil probably has a few hundred miles on it, maybe 1,000. I wouldn't do any track days. Now we're going to drain the warmint out.
What?
The warmint, it's like, in the summertime it's coolant, but in the wintertime it's warmint. It just makes sense. So we're draining that out. And this always just makes a horrible mess. Okay. That is, I just pulled the drain plug out, and that's all that came out. Okay, so maybe there's no coolant. What the f? You know what? I think I know exactly what the problem is. Just pop this off. Oh. So let the air move. Not bad. Done worse. It's like when I pee in the mornings. There we go. So we have to drain the coolant out because we're taking the water pump off. Take the timing cover off to reseal it, fortunately. So all the fluids get drained. The only seal we're not gonna do is like the rear main seal, because, oh boy, because we have to take the trans off. to do that. So that's supposed to be green. I promised you guys a mess when I drained the radiator and it didn't happen. But I think once I pull the drain plug out of this block, because of the way the headers are, the stream of fluid is just going to hit the headers and just cover the floor. That was a disaster. Got most of it cleaned up. On the last car I did, had like the stock manifolds, so I was able to like hold my funnel up to that. But since this has our nice shiny headers, it hit them and just dispersed everywhere, which I figured that would happen. So I think we're gonna take this opportunity to call it a night and continue tomorrow. New day. Finishing the cleanup. You can tell this was actually like a ton of rust because now that it's dried, it's like powdered rust. You can actually see under here. That is just like powder rust. So it's a good thing we changed it. Wow, that's really bad.
What's up?
It's all the rust in there, the crunchiness inside of it, that's just like a layer caked on the inside. Gonna pull the fan off and we'll zip everything up. That's so interesting to me because it's not symmetrical. It looks like they've lopped off one or two fan blades. This fan, for example, is still driven by the belt, but it's on a clutch, so it can control how much it spins by how hot the engine gets. But whereas this one is like all times spinning with engine speed. So I think that's my theory, is too many fans would have been too cool. I don't know. If anyone knows, please comment, because I'm very curious. What's next?
Yeah, what's next?
The donkey that put this together, it's ridiculous. I guess he lost a bolt for the water pump, so the rest of the bolts are your standard 10mm that holds it on, and then one of the bolts is just a random Allen head. Like, come on. That's the worst. It's putting together someone else's project and like none of the bolts match and none of the hose clamps match. So now we got to take the crank pulley off, which is the pulley on the crankshaft, because it's in the way of the timing cover, and it has what some refer to as the Jesus bolt. It's a very large 13mm bolt, and it's very tight, and when you try to turn the bolt, it just spins the motor, because the engine obviously spins. So we're going to use an old school trick that's probably not really recommended, but we're going to do it anyways. We're going to take a wrench. We've got the breaker bar rested on something somewhat sturdy, and now this will either go horribly wrong or it'll work. We're going to use the starter to spin the motor while we hold the bolt still. Good job, Daimler. Yep. Success. Success. I actually love it when stuff works. That's a big one. There she is. Pop the water pump off, get that last timing cover. We're good to go. Last fluid to go in. There's no way I'm making that. That was much longer and tedious than expected. There's just so many little gaskets on this motor, and they were all pretty stuck to everything. And then we just found more leaks after the next. But I think this should hopefully be the end of it. First start. lights haven't overheated yet. I think last time we did this overheated pretty quickly. Yeah. Or was that the other car? It was both of them. But yeah, I think she's good to go. Sweet. I'd give this a thumbs up. Next video, we're gonna do some suspension bits. We've got some race car parts coming to get the chassis ready for the new engine, which we haven't decided on yet. If you don't follow us on Instagram already, you should do so, because that's where we're gonna do the poll to see what engine we should put in it. And yeah, I think this has been successful.